What is up? Welcome back. I'm Billy Quick. This is Altered TCG. This is my Lindiwe deck that I'm going to be playing again today. This deck is mostly cookie cutter. This is something you'll find that already exists. My one hot take is I like to be playing one of Amarok. I don't know if it's actually good, but I like to play test with it. For those of you that might be new to Altered and deck building restrictions, you're only allowed to have 15 rares, so making a spot for one that may not actually be good is questionable, that's for sure. I only have 2 playable uniques. This is something I covered in the last video that I did, but just to recap, this is 2 from hand, 1 from reserve, 1/2/1. When played from hand, draw a card. I think this card's solid. Probably the best, hands down the best unique that I currently own. And I think it has a good place here in Lindiwe. My second unique is the Stargazer, which some people play the rare version of this card. The rare version, I think, is just 2 and 2, 2, 2, 2. And it says when it's sacrificed, you can put 2 boosts on a character, which is pretty solid, but this unique is also one of the main reasons I'm playing 3 magical trainings, because it has the ability to return spells from your reserve to your hand. And it may come up that you have a magical training you could discard here to draw a card instead of spending the 3 mana. That interaction might come up, not very often though. Anyway, let's go over some of the rares. So we have 3 Moonlight Jellyfish. I think this is one of the best cards in the deck. It's 1 mana. It can draw you a card. Repeatable sack. Gives you good tempo. I think playing rare Moonlight Jellyfish is probably non-negotiable, at least right now, with the rare pool that we have. Next rare is Baba Yaga. I think this is probably one of the best rares in Ysmir, just in general. It is a 3 mana, 3/2/2, 2 from reserve. From hand, it draws you a card, which is excellent. The stats are good for 3 mana. They're fine, I should say, for 3 mana. And then from reserve, stats are excellent. Doesn't draw you a card, but again, stats are very good. Amarok, this is one I just talked about. Like I said, I don't actually know if this card's good, but I think the stat line is fine. It's usually 3 mana, 4/3/3, and it's a quote-unquote free sacrifice and repeatable sacrifice outlet. The problem is it just costs a lot of mana to take advantage of, so that's why we're playtesting it. I'm playing 2 Booms. I love this card. I wish I could play 3. It's just hard to find room. We could cut it for Amarok, but in a deck that you want to sacrifice characters, I almost feel like playing more characters is better. I don't know. I wish we could play more than 20 characters in our list, but this is great removal. You can sacrifice a permanent, or sacrifice a character to deal with a permanent, and it's excellent. We've got 3 Moth Lanterns. This is the hardest card for me to play with, to be honest. It's very, on the surface, it looks simple, right? But this card is more expensive than it seems. It's 2 mana from hand, 2 from reserve. But for it to do anything, you would have already needed to play a character, or you will have needed to continue playing things during your turn to get more benefit from it. So most of the time, this card is just going to be a 2 mana, 2/2/2 that you have sacrificed something for. So if you have activated Lindiwe to put a Maw into play, you will have 4/4 worth of stats, but you'll have lost something in the process of getting it. I don't know. This card's really hard to evaluate. I'm torn. I think this card is good. I've had turns where this card has been excellent, and then I've had turns where this card is terrible. So I don't know. I think it's probably going to get more support. Lindiwe and the sacrifice archetype in general, but right now this card is, I don't know. It's hard for me to evaluate. I think you have to play it because it's more sacrifice and makes bodies that you can also sacrifice. I don't know. I think the card's good. It's just really hard for me to evaluate. I don't know if it's supposed to be an early game or late game card. So, Baba Zizba, this card's a great 2 mana from hand, 2 mana from reserve. Just immediately recuperates the cost. You draw a card immediately. It also gives you access to After You, which you don't have in this deck otherwise. And After You can be useful in Lindiwe because you don't always want to make your Maw right away, and Maw is very susceptible to removal. It can be off you go'd when you're pumping all your resources into it. It can be intimidated. And just so you know, these are removal spells that just deal with, anything. And the Maw being a token, you don't get any benefit of getting it removed. So like typically with Off You Go, you would get to replay something from your reserve, or with Intimidation, you would return the card to your hand. There's also like Mana Reaping or Eruption. I can't remember which one. It puts the thing into your mana zone, but with Maw, it's a token. It doesn't go in your mana zone. So yeah, this is just a great form of tempo. Replaces itself. I think the rare version is worth it for the cost reduction. This deck is already quite mana hungry, so. And then for my last rare slot, we have 1 copy of Mobile Armory, which can be a 4th copy of Jellyfish if you need it to be. It's interesting though, because if you don't advance in the expedition that you play this card, you don't get to replay it. This second line of text doesn't matter at all. It's really all about just making a 1 mana 1/1/1 that you can sacrifice and do again at some point. All right, and that is my deck. So let's get into a game. All right, we are up against Sierra. Okay, sweet. This is a deck I want to build if I have better Axiom uniques at some point. So we've got a Jellyfish, which is a great card to have in our opener. The Stargazer is decent stats right off the bat. Blizzard can be good against Sierra because they can make a lot of tokens, so I'm inclined to keep Blizzard. Probably don't need Off You Go. Don't need this Disciple. We don't currently have a Sacrifice outlet, which is a little bit awkward, so we're probably going to be playing the Stargazer early just for the stats. I feel bad putting this Magical Training back, but we have 2 more to draw into. All right, I think this is fine. So we'll start with this. We are on the play. It's really is a bummer we can't take advantage of Sacrifice on our first turn. But we're probably just going to send the Stargazer into one of these expeditions. I think it's generally good to put your companion expedition ahead, because as Lindiwe, you always make your token in your companion zone. So I think it's just good to... Oh. Okay. I was going to say, if they make a token here, I can get 2 advances, but yeah, I can still only get 1, so we're just going to pass our turn here. Yeah, you want to get your companion zone ahead because, like I said, Lindiwe can make a token in your companion zone. You can always pressure it in that way. So I think getting it ahead is probably the right thing to do. We are drawing the wrong half of our deck, sadly. What did I put back? Yeah, I mean, maybe there's merit to keeping the magical training. Like, man, this is ugly. Probably just putting back one of these disciples. We're banking on the Stargazer doing anything for us. Okay, so we're just gonna try and Stargaze on this side, I guess. I could play this Jellyfish. And just, yeah, I mean, I can get it to draw me a card next turn, hopefully. I lose value on not being able to sacrifice it, though. I don't know. This is really tough. Probably just playing the Stargazer. Don't get the effect, but we'll see what they have. Yeah, they're passing. All right, I'll also just pass, and we'll trade 1 for 1. Drawing really bad so far. We're hoping for like an Isba or maybe a Boom. Okay, a Moth Lantern is a good draw. This Alchemist is probably the worst card in my hand. It's good. It can produce a lot of power, but doesn't synergize with my hand super well. Maybe there's some merit to putting back a second Jellyfish. This puts a lot of power into play. I only have one way to sacrifice right now. It's probably a second jellyfish. That feels kind of bad. All right. We're probably going to lead with this jellyfish. Yeah, so they're at 4 mana. So if I go jellyfish, I can make a bunch of power on this side. If I go jellyfish until the mothland on this side, I have 2/2/2/2/2/2. And then I can't play this alchemist. So what I could do is just play the alchemist. They have this face up. Robots gain a boost. They get the 3/3/3. Probably just supposed to play jellyfish on this side. And just hope that I can Moth Lantern again next turn. We'll see what their play is. They don't know that I'm not playing Small Step in my deck. Small Step Giant Leap is a spell that just gives you a free expedition win for 6 mana. It's pretty good. Currently on the watch list. I'm not playing it in my deck because I don't think the play pattern is very exciting or interesting. So they don't know I'm not playing that card. Oh, interesting. Draw a card. That's pretty cool. Okay, and I can't compete on this side, right? Yeah, Blizzard is going to be very good, I think. It might end up winning me the game. I don't actually have to do anything else. I could play Moth Lantern on this side. And I think it gets rid of a sacrifice, but... Yeah, I'm probably just supposed to pass. Unless I want to set up for having a 1-drop next turn. And play this Alchemist out. No, I think I'm just going to pass. Oh, Boom is a great pickup here. But I'm not going to get a chance to deal with this right away unless I make my Maw and then Boom it. So, like, if they tap it now... This is pretty awkward. Because the only character in my hand is this Alchemist. Obviously, I have the Jellyfish, but if it gets sabotaged, I'm in a really bad spot. So I have to put back... Man, I think the Isba is the worst card in my hand, which is like really weird to say. It just immediately replaces itself. Maybe it's the Moth Lantern? Yeah, I think I have to put back the Isba. That feels terrible. But if they play, or if they tap this, I'm probably still trying to deal with it this turn. I'm probably going Jellyfish into Boom. Interesting. They didn't use it right away. So I could destroy it before they get an opportunity to use it by making Maw Boom. I could be greedy. They'll get a use out of it. Probably just supposed to play this Jellyfish. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. Not the most mana efficient. Just play the Jellyfish. Get to draw a card with this line. Maybe get to trade 1 for 1. A little bit confused with this line. All right, let's make the Maw. Let's boom this Foundry. Oh, Gift of Self. I'll take that. I don't know if this play is right, but it feels fine. It could hooked. Again, I don't think it does anything. It chose not to make a guy this turn. Interesting. I'm up in card advantage, but they are up in expeditions now. I'm on the play, which is good. Probably don't need a second Gift of Self. Starting with a Sabotage here is really good. It can prevent some card draw. So I'll probably lead with Tooth Fairy, hit this hooked. They did make a token. Okay. Now let's get rid of the disruption and card draw. Pressure this left side. This right side is going to be hard to interact with because Ogun is face up and he can just pump all of this stuff up. If they play another permanent, they get another robot that they can then pump. So this side might go, oh yeah, this side's probably going to be uncontestable. Unless they put it on this side. Okay. So I can make Maw and Moth Lantern, which they then Ogun and they beat both sides. And then I can play... I could Gift of Self to try and beat one side, right? Because if they play Ogun, they have 5/5/5 on this side, let's say. A Gift of Self. Yeah, I can win one side doing that. I can kind of pick and draw some cards. Let's do that. So we're now tied. They're probably going to play Ogun. I can sack here and make a moth or make a moth here. Oh. Interesting. They have 1 mana left. With 1 mana. I can't play either of these. I could just win both sides with this Alchemist. I guess I'll just try to win both sides. I don't know what they could have for one. All right, yeah, 2-0. That's a big turn for me. And I get 1 mana Alchemist into Moth Lantern. Ooh, Amarok. So I could do the dream of going Amarok and have Moth Lantern. I just don't have any dudes. I don't have any characters. This is my only one. Alright, I probably don't need Gift of Self. So I'm gonna have 8 mana this turn. I go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We go 5, 6, 7, 8. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No Maw. I think it's Gift of Self. I don't know if that's right though. Hooked is pretty awkward. Maybe it was Amarok I'm supposed to put back, but I am playtesting this card. So we know they're not playing a permanent, so you don't have to worry about another Brass Bug coming if they're playing Ogun first. So I can just make a huge Maw. And the way I can make a huge Maw is I can play Amarok, which they can move, which feels pretty bad. Maybe I'll just play this Magical Training first. But what I can do is I can play Amarok, make the Maw, play the Alchemist, play the Moth Lantern. All right, let's start with this. Let's just see what they do. Oh, Mobile Army is a great draw. Okay. Maybe they got tired of my slow play. That was an interesting outcome to the game. I did not expect a concession, but we drew Amarok, did not get to resolve it. I think it would have been good that game. It's unclear. Thanks for watching, I suppose, and I'll see you in the next one.